Hi, welcome to Radio Sensation. I'm your host, Dan, and in this episode, I am going to be taking a look at this Vanguard Frazetta classic, the Sensuous Frazetta. Now, I've covered a couple of the other books in this series that Vanguard has put out. I highly recommend these books. They're really well done. This is probably my least favorite of the books, and you'll kind of see why as I go through it. But it is Frazetta. If you're a Frazetta nut, you'll probably want it. And to be sure, there's some really nice stuff in it. So why don't we pop it open and take a look inside, okay? This is the Sensuous Frazetta. It is actually mostly covering his, illustrations for, it's got some illustrations he did for paperbacks, cover art, and interior work. And then he's got some ads he did, some funny comics he did, a couple of different things. The main bulk of it, though, is the comic book art he did for the romance comics. And let's flip through here and see some stuff. That's a pretty good start, right? That's a great cover there. And in this, this was Eerie 81. Yeah, this is a cover to Eerie Magazine 81, where the Fay Ray character is holding King Kong up. This is artwork inspired by Frazetta by the guy who did the this forward here. There's a Frazetta sketch. So these are paperback interior artwork, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I was reading a lot of paperback stuff. The only thing, I think I might have seen some illustrations in some of my Edgar Rice Burroughs paperbacks. They weren't Frazetta ones. I think that's the only illustrations I can remember in any of the paperbacks I read. So I wasn't familiar with these at all. Like what's that one? Well, this is an Edgar Rice Burroughs one for the Science Fiction Book Club edition interior. I didn't see that at the time, and that wouldn't have been a paperback one. I mean, they're talking about this as stuff for paperbacks. Those Science Fiction Book Club editions, I thought they weren't regular size, but something, I don't have those, so I don't really know. So here they show the original. This was originally a little 20-page, the Sensuous Frazetta, with just these pinup kind of pictures in it, and this book is obviously greatly expanded from those original 20 pages. And here's some of these illustrations. These are some pictures. This pinup model, Diana Weber, is someone that Frazetta found attractive and used. Obviously, he used that photograph over there for this illustration. So this is some nice, sexy pinup stuff. And it says rough drawings for this series of illustrations. These are some of the covers to the books that these illustrations appeared in. And you can see they're not they're not ones I probably would have bought as a teenage boy. I was more into the Edgar Rice Burroughs and definitely the Conan stuff. Yeah, I mean, you can see some of his style. You know, that type of nose and face there. That's definitely his. And, you know, yeah. They definitely have the shape of the Frazetta women already. This this was yeah, Arrows Comics put this out. I think I'm not sure if I actually bought this. If I did, I probably read it once, and then it might be in a box in storage, because I think it's the well, you'll see the kind of comics it is. I do like that they have these, you know, it talks in here about how he did not like to do too much rough work, and he didn't like these rough pencils are really rough because he was afraid of losing the spontaneity of the, you know, the feeling, the passion of it if he did the work too many times. Considering how many times he went back and touched up old work, that says something there. That's a big change between these two. Okay. So here's some of these. Now it doesn't have the EC stuff he did. You know, that's in other places. So it doesn't have the stuff he did for EC in here. The only, you know, like I said, the only comics that are in here are the romance ones. Now, this is what I mean when I'm talking about, you know, it's a little disappointing. So these are nice shots, reproductions of the color printed page. This page, this is not original art from before they worked on it. Like, that's what you would tend to see in these kind of books. This is that, you know, they were doing a lot of those comic reprints where the stuff that was in the public domain and they didn't want to pay to recolor, and they weren't shooting from the pages. They weren't photographing the pages. They didn't want to do that. That was expensive. So they would kind of use a process to basically bleach the colors out and reveal the line work underneath. I mean, I've got a lot of those things. I'm on the fence about it. I don't really. I get that I can see some of these things better, but I do feel like maybe some of the lines have been changed in this bleaching process. I don't think this, you know, this is not looking like what I imagined if you were taking, if they had taken these, if it was a true one of those artist edition things. So there's that. I'm not saying that this isn't terrible or anything. I think it's interesting, but you know, it kind of, the book feels really padded out because you've got this, you've got this. I think it's like if you take the two things together, they kind of make some kind of good way to look at it. I don't know. I'm kind of torn about it. Well, you know, and the big thing here is these stories are just not, you know, they're nothing I would, you know, they were done for romance comics. And, you know, I wasn't buying those. I didn't find this interesting then. I don't feel it interesting now. Now, you know, you can read them and get some of the idea about the social climate at the time from reading these. But so if you find that interesting, maybe. But, you know, there's a couple, you know, some of these panels, you get to see the women. I mean, a lot of them are headshots. They're romance, so there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of talking going on. I do that. That looks very much like a Dave Stevens character. Like, you know, that you could pop that into there, into the Rocketeer or something, to take the place of the girlfriend that looks like Betty Page. Yeah, I do like the art in this one. But again, story-wise, yeah, this is the best because it has so many figures. You know, it has so much. You know. It's a nice slap there. Empty heart. Let's see. I'm going to go a little bit quicker through there. Some nice gams there, huh? Yeah. Now this, first off, this story does not read like anything that would be in the average romance comic. It's definitely more like a man's take on this, with the tough He-Man showing up the sissy boyfriend and having the woman fall in love with him. Seriously, this does look like see this, that does not look like the same booth there. You can tell where my mind's at, because first thing I noticed is that does not look the same. I don't know, maybe it was touched up, but I don't see since this is supposed to be just the bleach stuff, I don't know. But anyway, this reminds me very much of the story about the monster in the in Creepy Number 1. That story is much better than this one, much more interesting. But there's a couple good things in here. You know, that's a great Frazetta shot. Although, you know, there's no way he had time to do this bit of business here. But you know, that's how comics work. People always have time to do all kinds of dialogue between punches, between reactions and stuff. I remember this ad. This ad was around a lot. Smoking doesn't pay. And here's some this is the Playboy. This is the cartoon from Playboy. I don't know how much Frazetta really had to do with this, but you know how often he did this. I'm not really that familiar. I know who Little Annie Fanny is. I've looked through those collections of the cartoons before. I didn't really find them that interesting. I mean, nice art and everything, but you know. Now the Frazetta Little Abner, that's some great. He draws some great those characters. I mean, that's Daisy May there for you. Yeah. I was trying to look and see if it said how long he was without cap. Yeah, I don't see anything offhand. You hear some of the other funny things. There's another Frazetta book that's all humorous stuff. Really, really early stuff. I do not have that one. I don't know why I didn't buy that one. I had a chance to buy it. I didn't buy it, and now it's hard to find. Oh yeah, I remember. This is from Lampoon, right? Yeah, the Dragula from Lampoon. She's scaring the gay Dracula with her nudity. And men's magazine art. You would have thought he'd been more cut out to do more work for them. But I think other stuff was taken off for him at the time. Just any innocent little kids having fun. I don't remember if it's him that did a variation on this or if somebody like Jeff Jones or somebody did a homage to this picture. I seem to recall a different version of that. And here's some work he did for movie posters. Looks a little bit like, you know, it looks a lot like what Jack Davis was doing for movie posters and these and that. This Zodiac one. And here's the other books that they did. Actually, I think that one's, yeah, not sure. You know, the sketchbooks. Hopefully, I'll find the two sketchbooks. Those are really terrific. When I did the rough work book, that got a lot of people, made a lot of people happy. So, you know, I'm hoping I can find the sketchbook ones. They're out of print, I believe. Kind of hard to find, but they're really terrific. Those are really ones to look for if you can find those sketchbook ones. I never saw. I didn't have the deluxe ones, so I don't know what. But anyway, all right, that's it for now. I hope you liked looking through this. Like I said, I don't think this is essential for Frazetta, unless you're kind of like me and will end up buying it all eventually. But still, fun stuff.